When I play Minecraft, I don't see it as me playing a video game. I see it as me using an art program to express my creativity artistically. Now, some people don't think that way, so I want to take this video to try to change their minds. How might I go about doing that? By creating some of the most iconic paintings in history in today's video to prove to the haters that Minecraft can be used to make some pretty gorgeous art. As you can see, we have 4 paintings that are going to be recreated today, and let's start with painting number 1 right here. This is the Scream, painted by Edvard Munch in 1893, newly painted by Bubba Flubba in 2024. And here we are getting right into our very first painting, the Scream. Of course, fun little tidbit by the way, this thing was painted on a piece of cardboard apparently, or so my sources tell me. So there's that little fun fact for you guys. This pretty iconic painting was painted on a piece of cardboard. So there's that fun stuff for you. So here we are getting started with just the basic shape of everything here. You can see obviously we have the actual Scream person himself. Is it even a person? I don't know. It's like an alien or something like that. But I don't know the lore of the art, but the Scream person himself is right there looking beautiful. And I did use a little bit of world edit in some of these paintings to either make some straight lines, as you can see me doing right here, or to cover a lot of space quickly with the brush tool. But other than that, I pretty much did everything by hand. I made all these pretty little curves that you can see me making right now by hand. All of that stuff was done by hand, and I also had a reference image on one of my monitors to look at this. So if you see the sort of the white wool blocks sort of lined up, which you'll see more in some of the future builds, I used sort of a cross hatching sort of technique, which is a way to break up the image into smaller pieces, which apparently a lot of professional artists use. So I guess I'm a professional now, but I guess Leonardo da Vinci used that sort of method to make his art. But you'll see that in the future. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But here is the completed first image of the Scream. I'm super happy with how this bad boy turned out. Next up on our list is one of the most famous paintings of all time, Starry Night, painted by Vincent van Gogh. Let's get into it. Alright, now we are on to the second image, Starry Night, the very iconic painting here. Beautifully done, and you can see the cross-hatching that I was talking about in the last build here. You see the window pane looking thing that's not going to be there, but that is just there to help me sort of get my basic shapes all set up. So yeah, like I said before, Leonardo da Vinci apparently used that technique in his arts. So I'm like Leonardo da Vinci basically, more or less. But anyways, you can see me here getting the sort of basic shape set up, and now I'm coming in to get the actual smaller details set up. And the Starry Night is pretty similar to the Scream, which we just built, in that there's sort of these like short brush strokes kind of taking up the entire painting. These ones are pretty, like, they're a lot shorter than on the Scream that we just built, but still they're kind of similar in that vibe. They have these sort of short, quick brush strokes, and it was pretty interesting to convert that into Minecraft. But I do think it turned out pretty well here in the end, you will see in these cinematics. But I'm actually going to let this sort of play out here for Starry Night at least. And you can get a nice little cinematic, relaxing view of me painting Starry Night in Minecraft. So enjoy. And there she is. Like I said, a lot of sort of stringy lines going everywhere, but that's kind of what the whole vibe of Starry Night is. I'm really happy with how this bad boy turned out. This was pretty tough to do, but in the end, I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. The third painting I will be painting today is The Girl with the Pearl Earring, painted by Johannes Vermeer. And now here we are on our third painting, the girl with a pearl earring. This was probably the easiest to build out of all of these, just because, I mean, you can kind of see it's pretty, I mean, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it was the most simplistic to do. It's more or less just a painting of a woman just standing there. She does have a pearl earring, believe it or not. You will see me paint that bad boy up here in a few moments. But here we go. We're getting the hair set up here. And then this was actually an interesting one because I had to sort of learn how to shade in Minecraft, which I haven't really had to do with 3D builds before. Because with paintings, you have shading here that you need to do, and I need to use certain blocks to sort of get the effect of shade in here. And you can kind of see that I like to think that I did pretty good here with the shading. But you guys can judge that, I guess, with the sort of gray terracotta here as sort of shade for her face, and then all the other blocks here kind of used to set up like a darker shadow line here for this woman. But in the end, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It did take a lot of experimenting with different block types and stuff like that. I had to get a little creative here, but in the end here, I'm really happy with how this bad boy turned out. You can see coming into some cinematics right now. I'm pretty happy with how this thing turned out. And finally, gang, we are building the one and only Mona Lisa, painted by none other than Leonardo da Vinci. And now, obviously, the one you've all been waiting for, the Mona Lisa, maybe one of the most famous paintings in the world. You saw the cross-hatching there that I was talking about earlier, done by Leonardo da Vinci, so I am following in the footsteps of great people. You can see I got the basic shape set up, I got the basic face set up. There you go, beautiful, iconic, stunning face, as we all know it right there. But I made sure to get the actual face set up early because that weird face that I had there for a few minutes was pretty not fun to look at, so I made sure to do the face first so you don't have to look at that ugly little guideline. But here we are. You can see further into what I was talking about with the last painting, how I have to like select certain blocks to actually make shadows itself on this person's face, let alone, you know, making someone's face is hard enough, but actually shading it and doing all of that stuff on a 2D surface is really, really difficult, especially for a guy like me. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna toot my own horn or anything, but I do think I did a good job here. But this was a pretty hard task to do, especially for a guy like me who is a three-dimensional builder. I don't have to worry about selecting the blocks for adequate shading on a build, because obviously with a 3D build the shading just comes automatically, but with a two-dimensional build like the Mona Lisa or any other painting, you have to incorporate the shading into the build with the block choice. So you can see I have the stripped oak wood for just the regular skin, and then for the shading I had things like the stripped spruce wood and then the stripped dark oak wood, and then I had to incorporate some terracotta and stuff like that into the skin to sort of show the shading. And then even the highlights too. If you see, the stripped birch wood is actually the highlights, so you can see on her chin and on her big forehead. You can see the lighting is everything really when it comes to making 2D paintings and stuff like this, especially photorealistic paintings like this Mona Lisa in Minecraft. And this is a sort of time when I realized that the Minecraft block palette is kind of limited when it comes to making really, really photorealistic paintings like the Mona Lisa. Obviously, there's a lot of blocks in Minecraft, but when you're making a photorealistic image, you want like the exact color, and when you need the exact color of something, it's kind of hard to find the perfect block in Minecraft. That's kind of when you realize that there is a little bit of a limit here, but obviously you can see I kind of made do with what I had. It wasn't super difficult to find the right block to use for like shading and stuff like that, but it was a little tricky to get down at first, obviously, because I'm a 3D builder. I don't do this stuff normally, so this was my first time. So give me a little slack here at least. Maybe on my next video making two-dimensional paintings I'll be a little bit better. But obviously I'm coming into the back of the painting here. Making the actual Mona Lisa herself is one thing, but you actually have to have the entire painting all done. So that includes the background and all that fun stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now, and then we're going to finish up with some nice little texturing here and there to kind of give it that realistic look. So you can see I got some like textures in the sky in the background and stuff like that. And that is more or less the Mona Lisa. So we got some beautiful cinematics here of my painting here, and I hope you guys liked this one because this was a really tough one to build, and I think I did a pretty good job. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I think I did a pretty good job here. And there you have it, 4 iconic paintings recreated by myself in Minecraft. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was something a little bit different for me, but I do like challenging myself, and I did have a lot of fun making these, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully I was able to prove that yes, you can in fact make some pretty awesome art pieces in Minecraft. This is not just a game. And enjoy these quick little cute cinematics. And finally, let me thank all of my awesome patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for supporting me, and a big thank you to my $10 supporters, Justin Kim, Delkin Melville, Voey, and Walker Army. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day, stay tuned till the next one, and until then, goodbye.